two? What's going on?
Slink, talk to me.
Hard to hear. A lot of commotion. I bet they're arguing over getting rid of us.
Oh, are we getting donated?
Donut.
No, sweetie. Donated. Wow, I love her, but this is gonna be hard.
Shh, quiet. I hear something. Like tiny footsteps. Oh, kind of cute.
Oh, go! Bonnie's coming!
Come on, Mom.
Oh, no, Lily's going too.
Hold on, Bonnie. I'm sure your toys.
All right, Buzz, you gotta stay here. I'm going with them.
Why? Why just you?
Look, I just have more field experience than you, that is all.
You don't think I can do it?
No, I just think I could do it a little bit better.
What is going on, movie lovers, and welcome back to the 5 on It podcast. I am Francisco.
And I'm Sir Frazier.
On today's episode, we are reviewing one of the greatest franchises, not just animated, one of the greatest movie franchises of all time.
Hear, hear.
We are talking Toy Story 5.
The legendary Toy Story franchise.
Oh, yeah, they do not miss, sir. But before we dive into that, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, a share, a comment. How did you like Toy Story 5? Does it hold a candle to the other Toy Stories? Do you like the Toy Story franchise as a whole? Is it one of the biggest hitters in the movie franchises or movie markets? Let us know. But Sir Frazier, tell the people about Toy Story 5.
So this is directed by Andrew Stanton, who also co-wrote it, the screenplay with Ken Harris. It stars a lot of familiar suspects. We've got Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Joan Cusack, Conan O'Brien joined this time around. Scarlett Spears, Greta Lee, and Craig Robinson, just to name a few. This opened, so we're recording this on the 20th, and the episode dropped on the 19th, and they're already at $129 million on a $250 million dollar budget.
And the weekend's not over yet, man.
No, it's not. And it's a holiday weekend, too.
Sunday right now.
So I read that this movie took like 4 years for them to. They were working on this for 4 years, and I think it's often the case with these movies. There's usually the notice like the animation improves from movie to movie, and it looks great. I mean, from the opening, like just the way we bounce in and out of like the imagination world, right? Where Bonnie, the little girl, we're in her imagination as she's playing with the toys.
Yeah.
Dude, love the aesthetics of that. So
it almost looks like a crayon is like drawn.
Yeah, man. It had a very arts and crafts kind of vibe to it. So I read that the visual effects supervisor, Thomas Jordan, said the animators used pastel chalk drawing technique, and leaned into like more of a tactile, handcrafted aesthetic for those scenes. But it also was interesting too to just kind of see that in contrast to the imaginary world through Andy's eyes. Like it felt much more like it looked slightly younger, but yeah, to your point, it looked like kind of like crayons. It's just like it was like a really fun and novel animation technique that they hadn't really used.
Yeah.
So I really appreciated that. But even there's certain scenes too, like when all the buzzes rise out of the water and you see like just the clarity in the water on them. It looked great.
You could, yeah, like you mentioned, like, especially when, like, I kind of went back and watched some of, like, the older Toy Stories, you could just see how the animation just improves. And by this one, it's like, obviously you're watching animation, but the shit just looks amazing. Like, especially, like, some of, like, the water and all that type of stuff. But I don't want to immediately jump into the negatives. But
but I will.
Because I don't really have too many negatives about this movie.
I do have a couple, but yeah.
I have a couple, but they're not really too bad. But you mentioned like the cast and everything like that. And then it is a huge standout cast as all the Toy Story movies are. But something that kind of I noticed though is like, at least me personally, I'm starting to miss some of like the old voices. They brought in some new people, obviously, to like try to fill the shoes and try to feel like, try to do their own rendition of it to try to make it feel timeless and seamless, that like the transition. But obviously, people pass away. But like even Slink Dog, I'm just like really missing Jim Varney's like original his own voice. And even like Mr. Potato Head too now. Don Rickles passed away. And so that's why like they were able to like really use like old footage and like unused like voiceovers for Mr. Potato Head in Toy Story 4, because he did pass away before that movie was like finished or released. So they had to use a bunch of like old stuff to complete that character. But in this, like, yeah, Mr. Potato Head and Slink and like some of like the side characters who were more of a forefront in the
Rex.
first two. Yeah, Rex.
Like an anxious dinosaur.
I mean, Rex is, I think, that's still the same person, but it's like, man, I'm just like personally, even Combat Carl, it was, I can't think of the actor's name, but now you got Ernie Hudson doing the voice. So it was nice to see him pop in, but it was just like, man, when Mr. Potato Head started talking, I was like, oh, that's not Don Rickles.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously Slink Dog, I mentioned, but they got Blake Clark doing the voice and doing a really nice job doing it. But just personally, it was just something that kind of I'm starting to notice a little bit. And it kind of makes me think like, how far can like these movies go when like people are getting older and stuff like that? I would wonder if I was like maybe a Tim Allen or Tom Hanks, I would be like, obviously I'm against the, like people like using your AI and your likeness and everything, but I would almost be like intrigued to be like, you know what, maybe I'll lend my voice out just in Toy Story properties only. Be like, you can only use my voice only if you're using Toy Story, nothing else. You can't use my face or anything, but if you want to use my voice for a Toy Story movie, possibly go ahead. But this kind of makes me think like, how far can these films go with like some of these characters, like, and like the iconic voices?
Yeah, I mean, especially when you have like key figures in that franchise like leaving. If you lose Tom Hanks or Tim Allen, those are pretty significant losses to this franchise. So I don't know what kind of pivot they would do losing like those actors.
I mean, like Joan Cusack as Jessie.
I like
she's doing her thing, and she's more of like the lead in this film. Which
she's the emotional anchor for sure in this movie.
Sure. You could, I mean, she's probably the lead in this because Woody doesn't really come into it until like maybe like halfway through it or so, give or take. Buzz is still kind of doing his thing. But although following Jessie and her story and her like the conflict with Lily Pad, man, once Woody though like really comes into the picture, I was like, man, this movie went from like good to great for me.
Well, I think I guess we'll just talk about Jessie's storyline. I thought that the use of her is right, where we get that backstory. We see what her experience was like with was it Emily? Emily, like that was her Andy, right? And seeing, kind of getting like more background on that relationship, and then the way that it comes full circle, where because I mean, especially in some of the earlier seasons, she is so afraid of losing and like losing the kid, right, and being abandoned, and I think for it to kind of come full circle where she ends up back at the home of Emily, who since moved on. And the way that storyline ends, where she learns that Emily named her daughter after Jessie.
Yeah.
And it kind of like helped kind of heal that. It kind of it brought her closure.
Yeah.
Which is like this was so like amazing about this story, like these franchises. Like you're empathizing with toys.
Yeah.
Inanimate objects. Like they're humanized in such a great way. And I think that her storyline in this, where she has become the Woody of the group now, she's the sheriff, and her mission is to help Bonnie find friendship and to help her connect with other kids. And so I thought like that being the mission and everything kind of starting off from that, I thought like was really cool to just see her stepping into that role as the leader now of the group. And I mean, their toys' mission, right, is to be there for their kid.
Yeah.
And I thought that was like I thought the writing in that was strong.
Oh yeah. And then like when like her like you say, like she sees that Emily named her daughter after her, so that brought her like some closure, and now she just really wants to like kind of just be there for Bonnie in a way, and just try to make sure like she's okay. Because even when like she wants to go grab Lily Pad and everybody's like, you want to get Lily Pad back, there, like she's like, yeah, because like she's like, you might get left behind. He's like, well, if I can give Bonnie a new friend, then it'll all be worth it. So like just to see like how like she's like, her motivations, like at first, are like a little bit not like say like they're nefarious or anything like that, but why she
She's
wants to
clearly
get.
jealous, though.
Yeah, exactly. She's jealous and like how she wants to get back to Bonnie, but like seeing like Emily and getting that closure, like she wants to get back to her, but now she's okay being left behind, just as knowing that Bonnie's okay.
You know, in some ways, this feels like a remix of Toy Story 1
Mm.
because we have the sheriff now, Jesse, who is kind of jealous and worried about this new toy and feels threatened by this new toy. And she ends up kind of getting like going outside the house on this mission, right? And she completely gets derailed.
Yeah.
And the old couple, when they find her,
Oh,
it's
they-
like,
they
it's
were
like, I'm
so
leaving.
funny.
You're leaving me.
You're leaving me.
that was a really fun scene. But yeah, she ends up being separated from the group, and she ends up kind of in this new house with these new toys. It's kind of similar to, you know,
Woody
when he went into fucking like Psycho Sid's house.
Yeah, I was like, for some reason, I went to Buzz.
Sid
That's
Vicious.
Home Alone.
Well, Buzz wasn't. Well, he had to get Buzz. He had to save
Yeah,
Buzz.
I was thinking of like, what was the evil guy's Buzz? But I was like, that's not the evil dude. The evil guy Buzz wasn't Home Alone.
Sid Vicious, the psycho neighbor kid.
Oh my.
But you know what though? The thinking about some of the other movies, I think what this movie lacked for me in some ways, it's weird because okay, so I feel I kind of feel both. I kind of am two minds in this. One, I think that this is a very timely story because it's dealing with the excess of screen time, especially with kids, and what it's doing to how it's changing norms around human connection.
Yeah.
Right. So like there's it's very timely. And I appreciate them trying to address this. But at the same time, I think some of the best movies in this franchise had really strong villains. And this movie doesn't really feel like you have that. Think about it. Like we were just talking about Toy Story 1, it's Sid.
Yeah.
He is very menacing. That movie's dark.
Yeah.
And
like
then
when you see him ripping the heads off,
dude, and then the
backyard.
toys, like the disfigured toys.
Yeah.
Like all of that was just like he's such a strong villain. I think in 3 you have the bear, very formidable, like very strong villain. And hell, I would even say in the 2, like the villain really to some extent is well, there's like the Darth Vader equivalent.
All Zurg.
Zurg. In the funny movie, it's like Zurg is our father. Like, no, they're all falling.
I like the
That
little
was a
callbacks.
highlight.
Yeah, I like the little callbacks. But like, wasn't it like that the cowboy dude? In the second one,
He was. He ended up becoming a little bit of a villain, but I was gonna say it was kind of more like Zurg. Him.
Mhm.
It was a little bit more layered, right, in terms of the villain. Whereas the third one, it's just straight up the bear. He's lying and manipulating everything.
Yeah.
So I feel like those, at least 1 and 3, had really, really strong villains, and I feel
Yeah.
like this one has a very timely villain, and a villain I think is addressing like some real themes in our society. But I don't think it's as strong as or as formidable as the other ones.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's like something that kind of like stood out for me as like a little bit on the negative side. Even in 4, I feel like the way she started out was like very good. Like she was like super evil, like the doll. And then you have the other like the little puppet dolls. Those are already creepy in nature. How they kept surrounding Woody and Sporky. Dude, I was like, oh shit, this is creepy as hell. I mean, yes, she was like, by the end of it, she just wanted to get back to her child, her
In the
kid,
voice
and
box.
yeah, and everything. So like, you can start seeing like how she was like trying to be like you can kind of really feel for her.
Mhm.
But like, yeah, in this one, it was just like a little bit disappointing because like coming into it, I was already thinking that like, man, this is like a solid plot line. Like you mentioned, it's like very timely and everything. I figured like. I mean, yeah, and like they mentioned with Woody, like he has that line of saying like, well, you know, like technology is for everybody. Toys are just for play. So they kind of making it seem like, I mean, technology is not like totally evil. It's not like tech is bad. It's all bad. But I was coming into it thinking like Lily Pad was going to be a little bit more of a formidable foe, like kind of like in the bear on like the Sid level. I was like, ooh, what is she going to do? And yeah, she does some stuff like hacking into the vacuum and ripping up the paper, or like the little the found me note,
Yeah.
or how she like hacks in and she does the alarm and gets the toys taken to the garage. There's like a couple little hints at it, but
Yeah.
I was expecting Lily Pad to be like just way more evil or just way more nefarious with her actions.
No, 100%. But you know what? I really loved for me I think the the story really kicks up a notch. Well, hold on. There's one thing I want to say. So when Jessie goes across the street where she's trying to connect the neighbor kids with Bonnie, she's trying to figure out a way to do that. And she sees the kids just not playing on the screens. And then the toys, like from the graveyard of toys,
That
come
was
up.
creepy.
That
It
was
kinda
like
funny too.
that was a good scene. There were some fun moments there. But when she climbs up on the roof and she's overlooking like the neighborhood, the neighboring houses, she's seeing the same pattern in all of these houses. All of these kids are having devices and pads. And then like this is so after that, right? She's back at the house and she's trying to comfort the toys, like, hey, like it's gonna be okay. Right? Isn't she like kind of comforting them, saying, like, hey, the screens, it's nothing to worry about?
Yeah.
Again, that reminded me of Toy Story 1, where Woody's trying to calm down the toys who are really nervous because it's Andy's birthday.
Yeah.
And he's trying to like, he's trying to exercise leadership and just kind of calm the hysteria. And then boom, look what happens. Shiny new toy.
Yeah.
Same thing in this movie,
Lily
right?
pad
The
pops
next day she gets the lily pad.
I never really thought about that. How much shades of Toy Story 1 like they're paying homage to in this. Like they're very hitting a lot of like similar plot points. And I mean, I guess that's a good thing though too, because I mean, necessarily like watching it, it wasn't like a bad thing. It wasn't like we were just retreading old steps or anything like that. So that it didn't stand out as far as like a weakness, at least for me. And but they're taking some of the good things, I suppose, from Toy Story 1.
I definitely want to give a acknowledgement. Because again, like this is kind of one of those things where I felt a little bit conflicted on. I feel like this movie cast a very wide net. The story at times felt just scattered. We were with the Buzz Lightyear toys who had like crashed on this island. That they offered some fun moments, and they definitely served a purpose in like helping all of the toys get back when they're on the back of the truck. So they definitely served a purpose, and they were fun. But we're there, right? And then we're with Bonnie and the toys, and then we are later on we end up going back to Jesse's childhood home. So we're dealing with the pig and the horse, and then we're dealing with the other toys, and then we're dealing with the toys in the house. Like it just felt very scattered at times.
Yeah.
However, and then additionally, right, we're also being grounded in Bonnie's life, right? Which I actually did like, because I don't really remember us getting that much time with Andy, for example.
Yeah.
Whereas this kid, we actually do spend a good amount of time with her separate from the toys. Like we obviously we see her and the older girl bond at the very end, like when they're spending time together. But like I definitely think that I have more of a stronger sense of Bonnie than I ever did of Andy.
Yeah, it definitely feels like,
and that's a strong part of the story.
Yeah, you're getting a sense of like kind of the like who she is, a little bit of her personality. Obviously, like she's super shy.
Oh man, cripplingly shy.
Yeah, especially like when Blaze was like trying to like when she does the little like howdy partner blah blah blah.
Yeah,
and then she was like, oh, that was weird. I was like, oh, Bonnie, please say something.
Please, like, yo,
don't just leave her hanging like this. She's trying here.
She is,
especially
really.
Like it looks like Blaze is like a few years older too than Bonnie. Damn, I was going to mention something about. I just completely lost my train of thought. I totally forgot what I was about to say.
Well, one of the highlights in this movie is Conan O'Brien's Smarty Pants. He is hilarious. Like the distrust that he and Jesse have early on, especially before he gets his fresh batteries. He's like looking like drunk, like his speech is off. Dude, his battery's low.
I was already coming to like a lot of people was already giving him so much praise as like a huge standout character.
He definitely was.
And so I was like kind of like once he came on screen, I was like, all right, here we go. You got a lot of people giving you a lot of props, man. But he definitely stood out for, like out of the pack a bit for me, especially like you mentioned, like before he gets his batteries, he's acting all like super drunk and everything. But the way he's like, I'm not a chair. And then when he gets juiced up, when he gets the batteries popped in, like Toy Story definitely has a way of introducing like cool new characters. I feel like in all of their movies, even like if it's Toy Story 4 with like Key and Peele?
Nukem. No, Duke
Duke
Kaboom.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I loved him. I wish there was more
I
of him.
wish she was in this a little bit more. Like when she popped in, I was like, "Oh, Duke Kaboom's in this shit," but because I was not expecting that. So Toy Story has a great way of like introducing new cool toys, and like this one's no different. I feel like Atlas and like the little camera, how they were like how they
Craig
were used.
Robinson as Atlas.
Was Craig Robinson Atlas? I did. That's why I like when I go to the end of like when it's looking the cast.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
you start putting
yeah.
like they were in it. Oh my
Yeah.
god, they did such a good job.
Oh yeah, dude.
But those new characters, not only with Conan O'Brien, Smarty Pants, but yeah, Atlas, and I can't remember what the name of the camera of that was, but even like the text messages, like all those messages
poop.
going through. Yeah,
the poop emoji.
I was like, is anybody else noticing this? Like every time they like, it wasn't just when he mentioned poop, but like when he like when it was kind of like in a bad mood or
When
he
they were
upset
having
him.
their fight, yeah.
The poop emoji. That shit
Oh
was
man,
hilarious.
that was a great scene for sure.
Oh, I remember what I was going to mention because you mentioned like the plot being like a little bit like scattered and stuff. Yeah, I kind of got that. I kind of got that a lot though with just like all the Buzz Lightyear storylines. Because when it's like the movie started and like you see all the Buzz Lightyears coming, at first I was like, is this like a flashback or something? Like, is this how like where Buzz started? But like seeing them and how they get off the island and all that, like it is like a highlight. It doesn't look bad. It's well done. Like it's kind of funny too. And they're trying to find Star Command, and when they find out Zurg's the father, like all the stuff with them is still well done and it's funny. But I was kind of thinking like, all right, what is their purpose here? Like at first I was like, we're cutting away from like these mainstream storylines right now, just for like all these Bud Lightyears. And honestly, like it just didn't quite land it with me, like with all those Buzz Lightyears, because I feel like we could have like probably got to everything where we needed to go and just probably spent more time with all these like with like Blaze and then the new characters and with Bonnie and stuff like that. But I don't know, like it's fine, and especially like once you get the post-credit scene with all the Buzz Lightyears coming down and stuff. It's like it's fine, but it's like I feel like we could have just got everything we had and could have got there.
Yeah,
just with spending more time with all the other stuff we already had.
If I'm cutting something from this movie, I would say that this is like that storyline is one of the ones that would come to mind first. But that said, I love the interrogation scene with Woody when they're interrogating Woody with the hanging him upside down.
Oh,
and he's like, "You know this old man?"
Yeah.
Like that, and that's the scene, of course, where he says, "Oh, by the way, we're toys, and Zurg's our father." And then like that scene was hilarious. That was definitely a highlight.
Damn.
I know, right?
That
weed was hidden. What was I gonna say though? There was something I wanted to
about the Buzz Lightyears or the Zurg.
Trying to think of some other highlights in this movie for me.
Dude, one quick thing while you're thinking of that, man. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just like the only one thinking of it. But I was like, man, why is? And maybe it's just a high question too, a weak question. But I was like, why is Bullseye?
Go on.
Yeah. Like, why is Bullseye like one of the only few characters that doesn't talk or anything? Because I was thinking, I was just like sitting there while I'm watching. I was like, how come Bullseye doesn't talk?
Because he does when we're in Blaze's imagination.
But that's just like But like, was that actually a different character?
I think so. But
were they using like Bonnie's voice as like Bullseye?
No, it was actual actor's voice. Alan Cumming.
Did he?
Yeah, he was the evil Bullseye in Blaze's playtime.
Okay.
During the playtime.
But like, how come he doesn't even have a regular voice?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's weird. Like, they did in that sense, but they wouldn't.
I know. That's why I was like, my high brain was just thinking. I was like, well, maybe it was because of an animal. But I was like, no, because the dinosaur talks.
Rex is an animal.
The pig talks. But I was like, and there's a talking potato.
Facts.
And so I was like, how come Bullseye? But I was like, maybe there's a cut somewhere where like even when
Cuts the act.
there's a Bullseye cut when like Jesse's talking to Bullseye, and maybe that's when Bullseye just goes like, "Oh, it's okay, Jesse," or some stupid shit. And they're like, they're probably looking around like, "Nah, we cannot give Bullseye a voice. This is way too goofy."
Yeah,
but because the other horses don't talk either. The ones that came and they were riding and shit.
Yeah.
Which was hilarious.
The one that buzzed.
The one that Woody was hopping on.
Oh, the small one at the end? Yeah.
That shit had me going, bro.
Yeah, no. Speaking of Woody, though, one of the funny, like the introduction of him where he is over, like his gut is sticking out. He's got the poncho.
Dude, and the bald spot too. It's like somebody needs the brown marker.
I love how that becomes a recurring joke. It like blinds people.
Even Lily Pad, how Lily Pad talks to him, like, "Oh my God, you're an old toy, aren't you?" And then she's looking up.
He said, "Why you?"
They show like I think Jesse being sold for like $0.
I was like, "Yo, this bitch Betty."
I know.
I love that everybody keeps calling him old.
Yeah.
And then when you initially see his gut, you're like, "Damn, dog, how did you let yourself go?"
Dude, I was also a little disappointed though when I mean, yeah, it's Bo Peep and like the I guess the sheep don't talk really either too.
No, they
but like with Duke Kaboom and Bo Peep, they hop in the raccoon, they zoom off. They're like, "All right, well, let me know when you're done helping." I was just like, "Oh, you're not gonna stick around?" Like,
Yeah.
what the
Yeah, they definitely didn't get much camera time, but it was funny when Jesse first called Woody.
fuck? Mhm.
And he's like about to save this toy.
Yeah.
That whole scene was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was also foreshadowing because you're talking about the tech and that being, clearly like that being, it just was more foreshadowing.
Mhm.
But I think for me, one of the other issues that I have with this movie is that while I appreciate Jesse's storyline, it felt like one of your best characters in this whole series was kind of a bench player in Woody's
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
Buzz still had a pretty prominent role in
He
this
had a
movie.
decent night role.
I mean, he often does, if I remember right. But maybe not in the last one. Maybe I don't remember if he was as big a character in the last one or not. But
I think he still had a decent role because I kind of watched it like I watched like some of it, like I didn't like sit down and watch it, just kind of playing in the background. I catch most of it. But I want to say Buzz had a still decent role because while Woody was away, Buzz was like kind of in that Jesse role in this movie where he's the one like leading the group. Because I remember like there was a part where they're all asked like, "Buzz, what do we do? Buzz, Buzz, Buzz." Then he starts like hitting his little thing like for assistance, like his inner voice.
yeah,
And then that's when he's like, "Quick, gotta go!" And he just hops out the window, and somebody's like, "What is with everybody jumping out of the window?" You know, a quick little character that I love is Trixie, voiced by Kristen Shaw, the blue dinosaur, the Triceratops. Is that Triceratops? I'm
the
not
one
sure.
that wedding crashes at the end.
Oh my God, man! Like that girl kills me, man. Like she is like a low key like one of my favorites. Damn, that weed's making me fucking lose my train of
It's that
thought.
Yoda OG.
Oh shit! I was gonna mention something else, but I just kind of lost my train too.
Take another hit.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think it kind of benched one of my favorite characters, and the screen chemistry between. It's also me being biased too because like I love the screen chemistry with Tim Allen and Tom Hanks, and I think in this movie something that kind of threw me a little off was just I feel like when we left off with these characters, they had been through so much together. They were best friends.
Yeah.
And in this one, it felt like there was a lot of tension, especially around Buzz Lightyear trying to like hold it down for the woman that he loves, for the toy that he loves.
Yeah.
And so like that created like a lot of tension between him and Woody. And I don't know, it kind of seemed like we were kind of backsliding a little bit because those characters had been through so much together and they were like the best of friends.
Yeah.
And so that kind of felt a little it kind of seemed like it kind of came out of nowhere.
It kind of seems
I understand like you need tension in movies, right? I get that, but like that thread of the storyline early on when Woody comes back, I thought that I don't know, it seemed out of the blue.
it kind of feels like Buzz is more like hesitant to see Woody instead of like happy to see him because he's like, oh, like she called the deputy. Like I'm her deputy. And no, I'm her deputy.
Yeah, like he's trying to like basically like pull rank on him.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you forgotten who I am? Like, nigga, I've saved you. Like,
OG.
Bro, like, you know who I am.
You see the poncho. You see my little 6-shooter over here.
Yeah, I love the scene too where they're like, "What are you wearing?" He's like, "It's a poncho," and Bobby's like, "She likes it." She's like,
she's like, "No,
no, I don't." I thought that was like a fun scene, but yeah, I mean that's another group when I've always loved them on screen, especially in the last movie when those two were together, because like it was kind of always like alluded that there was like romance like
Yeah.
between those two toys, which feels so weird to say. But in that Toy Story 4, it really came to fruition.
Yeah.
And I like that screen chemistry, but we didn't really get much at all. But what we did, it was like, oh, like they feel like an old couple.
Yeah. But like you mentioned, although it's nice to follow Jessie and seeing her story, and like this is like overall, this movie doesn't like miss a beat, and like it still holds a candle to the rest of like the franchise. But it's still like it kicks up a notch. Like it's a fun movie to follow, but like once Woody gets introduced and you see him and he's on like the little windowsill and everything, and you get that little nice little camera shot.
Yeah, the
To me,
transition was great there.
I was
too.
like, okay, now like this movie has just like cranked it up a little bit because now we got the main players here, and like seeing like Woody and Buzz play off of each other. That's Toy Story, and kind of that's why I kind of mentioned like how long like can like the franchise really go? Like not only with like the voices and everything like that, like just trying to step in and fill those shoes, but like can you even really have a Toy Story like if you're not following like Woody and Buzz? Because although the movie's solid.
That's what made.
93 is still a great score right now, but I'm just thinking, like, do you want to like even see a Toy Story if Woody and Buzz aren't in it?
I mean, this franchise hasn't missed for me. I mean, that's going to be a great transition, I guess, for our scores. We can lead into that if you want. But like, they haven't made a bad movie in my eyes. For me, I was kind of going between two scores. I'm going to give this a 4 as opposed to 4.5 because I feel like I need to sit with it more. I feel confidently in saying, well, I mean, you want to go ahead and rank our 5 now or after our scores?
We can do the ranking after scores since you already started the scores.
This is a 4 for me. I really dig this movie. I think that is a little over ambitious in trying to with their storylines and trying to keep them all tied together. It does feel a little sprawled out in a way that some of the other ones didn't. But that said, it's bringing back iconic characters. It's adding new, really fun characters. And it's dealing with something that a lot of parents, I'm sure, can relate to in just their children and screen time and the excesses of that. And so, yeah, I think this is another really great movie in this extremely successful franchise. I recommend it, especially for those with parents. It's worth checking it out. And something else I want to say. Damn, I'm really kind of wrong. Back and forth between 4 and 4.5. Like I think what is really resonates with me in this movie, and I think the franchise in general, is like the nostalgia. Like seeing this movie, it just reminds me of like a different, like I just can't help but feel nostalgia for a time where that wasn't such a feature in everyday life. Because when we were kids were playing outside in the street. Kids that was like a feature of our neighborhood, is like seeing and hearing kids play in the streets.
Oh yeah.
I don't really see or hear that in my neighborhood.
No.
And so I feel like something has been lost, and yeah, it's just it definitely kind of put me in that headspace, thinking back on just like the simpler time when this franchise started. But yeah, that's I'm sticking with the 4.
Man, we're on agreement, man. I'm giving it a 4 as well. I mean, because some of the other, like, I think Toy Stories like just stand out a little more, especially with like their with like their antagonists, their villains. Like I definitely mess with Sid and the bear. I can't remember what was his name. I can't even think of it off the top of my head. But those just like stand out a little more because of like those movies stand out more because of like because of those villains. And like, although like this movie is like it's a solid.
Lots.
Yeah. Lots
of hugging bear.
But like the story that like this movie was just, I feel like just missing a little bit with like the Woody and Buzz like chemistry. Although following Jessie is not bad, but it's just, I mean, my Toy Story is just Woody and Buzz. Like that's just what those two iconic.
They're the anchors usually.
Exactly, yeah. And I feel like you're just like missing them a little bit. And although you're getting introduced to a lot of new characters, like all the other Toy Stories do, we're just missing a little bit of that. But then also like the plot line with all the buzzes, like I'm kind of wondering if that comes into play whenever they decide to do a Toy Story 6 potentially. Because I feel like some of the plot lines just got a little bit like maybe they're biting off a little more than they could chew a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But overall, it's still like a wonderful entry. I would rewatch it again, maybe not in theaters because there's so many movies coming out, especially in
Yeah.
the summertime right
No
now.
kidding.
It's going to be hard to like go.
Treasure
and do a little
trove
double
coming up.
Yeah, you got Odyssey, Spider-Man, Supergirl. We got a lot of good movies to check out in the
Evil
theater.
Dead.
Evil Dead. Oh man, I can't wait for that movie.
Yeah.
But overall, this is a solid movie, and so yeah, I give it a 4. Did you want to start with the ranking? You want me to go with mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
Man, so we're
You
gonna.
want to go 5-5, or do you just want to list them all?
We can just list them all.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah. We're gonna do our like Toy Story ranking and 5 to 1. So like for like number 5, I would probably just pick Toy Story 2, just because it's just the least movie I watch.
Okay.
If I watched it more, then I would probably maybe bump it up a little bit. I know like a lot of people love Toy Story 2. Not saying it's bad or anything, but for some reason, it's just the least movie I grab for some strange reason. So maybe I need to rewatch it again, and maybe we'll go up a little bit on the rankings. But yeah, 5 would be Toy Story 2. Number 4 would be probably Toy Story 5. Then number 3 would be Toy Story 4. Number 2 would be Toy Story 1. Number 1 would be Toy Story 3. Man, because Toy Story 3, with like how you think like they're gonna like almost like it's almost cynical to say like kind of wish like that's where the story ended with that trilogy.
Oh God, no.
I know, but it's like that was just such an
I
emotional
would be
ending.
outraged.
But with like you said, Lotso and Sid, like those two on any given day, I feel like are flip flopping 1 and 2
Yeah.
for me. Those two are so iconic. Like Toy Story is one of the first movies I remember as a kid that I was just watching multiple times over and over. And that first Toy Story, and like once they go to like the pizza place, I can't remember the name of it. But like
Yeah.
them going there,
That van actually has like a delivery van from that company has a cameo in this.
Oh, really?
Like when they're at some point when
Is it
they're on the
Pizza
road.
Planet?
Yeah,
It's Pizza
Pizza
Planet.
Planet, something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, and then like the aliens, that movie is so iconic for me.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, and it started it all.
and I want to say
And it was I mean, that's like I think that's actually registered in the was it culture was it
oh, like
National Registry of Congress?
Yeah.
I think that's actually listed because of historical, like aesthetic, like significance. Like it was a groundbreaking movie.
I want to say it got nominated too. It's one of the few films, one of the only 3 maybe
Animation
that got
Yeah.
nominated for best movie that
Yeah,
year.
yo, that's insane.
And also, I'm not going to stand by this, but I want to say it might be one of the only times when the toys actually show a human, like their true selves, when he's like, and let's
So
play,
behave.
And so that is so behave, like when Woody turns around on Sid and he starts
So
freaking
play
out.
nice or something
Yes,
like that.
yeah, dude, that part was so like just oh my god, creepy as shit.
Yeah.
But I was also thinking like when would like the toys introduce themselves like to I wonder if that would be a point in like a Toy Story movie. Maybe they introduce themselves to a kid, not maybe like say hi, but like maybe the kid notices like something and they're like, I saw you. Come out and play or something. I wonder if they should do that in a future Toy Story movie.
Well, in the 4th one, right? The bird toys, like they're trying to like devise a plan, and like I think they one of their plan is like to reveal themselves to humans. So like, yeah, we're not doing it. But so for me, man, number 5 will be Toy Story 5.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4 would be Toy Story 2.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 is Toy Story 4. And this is like honestly kind of really depends on my mood, but I'm going to say Toy Story 1 and then Toy Story 3.
Pretty similar.
Toy Story 3 is just phenomenal, man. I mean, you get the introduction of Ken played by Michael Keaton. I'm just a Michael Keaton fan.
Yeah.
So like, hey, you're going to give me this? All right, perfect. He's hilarious. He said, why do you guys keep saying that? You're a doll. I'm not a doll.
Oh man, I totally forgot that he was in the Toy Story franchise.
He's so good when they're gambling above the vending machine.
Mm-hmm.
Love that movie, man. So here's a question for you. I have, where do you? I mean, how high? You don't have to give me like a media ranking, but I'm guessing like tier wise, right? Like 1 through 3, right? where would you say this franchise, the Toy Story franchise, not including Buzz Lightyear, I'm not count. That doesn't count to me. I'm only talking about the Toy Story films.
Oh yeah.
Where does this rank for you as far as like the greatest franchises? Because they haven't missed critically or commercially.
I mean, if we're comparing it, like,
I'm
like
feeling live action. I'm just talking about franchise, period.
yeah, comparing to like the other franchise had at least like 3 or more movies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I'm making like tiers, it's easily like a tier 1. And if I was to make like a ranking, I would just have to put it possibly easily in the top 5. Cause
I guess what so just like for reference, like what would you say is another tier 1 series or like franchise? Like would you put Lord of the Rings in there? I get why people would. I mean, I get why people. I'm not as big on it, but I get why people.
I would put it on there if I was making like an unbiased, objective opinion.
Fair
but
enough.
like if it was my favorites, then nah, because I just don't really mess with like the.
I feel you.
But like I'm looking on here, like even like the Evil Dead franchises is up there.
Okay. And you're talking about even the OG ones is including.
Oh yeah, like that whole like if we were just taking just like the like 1, 2, and 3, Army of Darkness 2, like yeah, like that's like to me that's a fantastic trilogy. And even if you brought in like now if we're talking like just trilogies, yes, of course. And even like if we're taking like multiple like movies, like if we're talking like everything, because that's when Star Wars would take a big dive.
Oh my God,
it's like they're tier 1, but if you had to include everything on there, bro, it's like they've taken some big hits on there.
Yeah, bro. I mean,
but if we want to keep it just
there's a lot of misses there.
If we want to keep it just the trilogies, but also like the Evil Dead,
3 or more movie franchises.
Yeah, like the Planet of the Apes. I feel like those.
Oh yeah, you're big on that. Yeah.
Those ones are really good. I haven't really seen the third Back to the Future or the I gotta watch the other 2 Godfathers because I know those 2 are up there as well.
I mean, no, that wouldn't be on there because Godfather 3 is such a dip. But the first 2 are amazing. I mean, yeah, I guess they're 2 for 3. I would say, you know what? I mean, frankly, I feel confident saying this now that he's 3 movies deep into this role. But Tom Holland's Spider-Man, they have all of those movies have been hitters for me. Yeah. Even the second one with Mysterio, I thought that was damn good.
Yeah.
I loved that franchise, and I have no reason to think that they're going to let me down in this next movie.
Yeah.
Oh, they have been hitting.
Yeah, if we were talking like, let's say like if we just had to speak on like franchises that doesn't have any stinkers, like you got to be unbiased because like I said, mentioned like even like Captain America, it's like
Captain America doesn't have any misses for me.
Well,
are you including? Are you only the? You're not.
If we're just doing Chris Evans, yeah, but I'm talking about bringing in Red Hulk. And I was like, that's a little bit of a blemish because it's like,
that's fair.
It's like people
it's still a part of that franchise.
Yeah, because even I would say like the Thor was kind of, but like until Dark World is on there. Like if we're talking like unblemished records,
I don't know anybody that in Marvel that has that. To be honest, that has 3 or more.
Spider-Man is probably the only one.
Yeah, outside of that one, because I mean.
Guardians,
the second one is like a lot of people are critical of that one.
Yeah,
they would say that's okay, but a lot of people do not like that movie.
Yeah, even like
1 and 3 are great.
What about Christopher Nolan's
Batman? Absolutely.
Yeah, that one's up there.
Absolutely on that list.
Because although like Batman Begins is still a solid movie, but it's just like
it's not a stinker.
It's just like
it's the weakest.
It's the weakest one. People like mess with like I see on here the like the Shaun of the Dead ones. Like I said, it's Shaun of the Dead, At World's End.
I never really gravitated to those movies, so I don't know about that.
I watched Hot Fuzz and I thought it was like pretty good, but I haven't really watched Shaun of the Dead or World's End. But a lot of people stand by those movies.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's hard to think about a franchise. I can't think of very many, anyways. I mean, Aliens has some great movies, but they got some stinkers too.
I was going to mention Scream up into this last one. I was like, Scream 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They were like, to me, all solid.
Okay.
And then once they got this 7th one, like just because of like they fired Melissa Barrera and like Jenna Ortega left, and they had to like do all this shit with like the characters because they weren't going to bring back Nev Campbell as Sydney, and now they had to like pay her money because like they fired everybody else.
Yeah.
So like bringing in it was just already like battling an uphill battle, and it was just not that great. It was just like
damn.
It was like it was easily their first blemish of the franchise, and it sucked because they were just knocking them out the park. But that's one that stands out for me that recently enters the blemish record.
You know, a franchise that actually that I do really like. It's not perfect, but the Beverly Hills Cop franchise. I like 1, 2, and Axel. I didn't really care for 3, but I like the first 2 are great.
I saw the first one,
especially the first one.
I wanted to watch the first one before I watched was it just Axel?
Axel, I liked Axel.
I thought Axel was good.
I thought it was cool.
But like the first one and the last one were solid. I haven't watched the in between 2, but oh my god, Hangover, that franchise. Fuck that, man. Like the first Hangover, I feel like it's pretty iconic, but after that,
it kind of wears out its welcome.
It's just repetitive after that.
Yeah.
Ooh, Harry Potter.
Harry Potter has some misses, but man, the first, I think up to Order of the Phoenix was just.
I feel like those
hit her. It's like, god damn.
To me, like I feel like those are all I could watch if I like had to sit down. Like I could enjoy all of those Harry Potter movies.
I mean, from the Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, absolutely. I think Goblet of Fire is 4.
Goblet of Fire,
and then Order of the Phoenix. That's where I left. Those 5.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Half-Blood Prince, it might be my least favorite, but there's some
I didn't like the ending of that. That was the thing, man. I was disappointed in the ending.
I didn't like it was there's some stuff I didn't mess with.
I was on that journey for so long.
I definitely was just like the visuals of like Voldemort, definitely I'll fuck with that.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I never like
I did like some of those. I mean, we in the weeds on now, but but to bring us back though, I'd absolutely would put this in a tier 1. I'm in a complete agreement. This movie has been tremendously successful, or this franchise has been tremendously successful across, and not only from a critical standpoint, but even like its box office. It makes some good money. People see these movies, and that speaks to the staying power of this, man. This movie has bonded people and their kids who are generations removed from the origins of this, but it still has been able to get people to sit in the theaters, and that says a lot about this franchise and the writing.
Oh, exactly, man. Like when you have a franchise where like it's like almost like Super Mario, where like when like your kids, and all this type of stuff,
or
where it's like passing down when it's passing down multiple generations, it's got that staying power. Well, I mentioned this, like if you're just talking unblemished like franchises, like it's hard to like not have.
There aren't
like,
many.
It's like Lord of the Rings. I have to put like them in there just because like it's an unbiased opinion. Yeah. Probably the Dark Knight trilogy. I just mean like nothing that actually though. Like I don't even put Batman, but like this franchise has no misses, and it's hard to not include this as one of the greatest franchises. Like probably has to be in like top 5 because not only is it financially successful, it's critically successful, it's for adults, it's for kids, it touches all quadrants. Like Toy Story is going to be around forever. And man, if anybody wants to lend out their voice, I wouldn't be opposed if like Tim Allen and Tom Hanks said like, just keep my voice alive just for Toy Story projects.
Quick question. We're talking about great franchises, and I know this is going to be on your list. I believe this will be tier 1. What about the Mission Impossible franchise?
Ooh, I totally forgot about that, man. And the John Wick franchise.
Oh, bro, damn.
You better hold on, brother. Oh, bro. That just went like you just picked the lock in my brain, bro. Mission Impossible Fallout is easily and probably in my top 25 because it wasn't my top 10, but it might have like fell out. But like top 25 easily my favorite movies of all time. That movie is such a fantastic film, especially for just like an action movie, but also just like the combat. You got that's another Henry Cavill movie where he's like a villain. Well, kind of spoiler alert a little bit.
Yeah.
But also the John Wick franchise, it's in there, man. Because like just for having, like I said, mentioned that it doesn't have any stinkers and it has at least 3 or more movies. All the John Wicks are fantastic, and it got even better by the time the 4th one hit. And even their spinoff Ballerina is pretty fun.
That shit was really good. That was one of, I don't know if I can't remember if that was an honorable mention, but it was damn near. That was one of my favorite movies that year.
It might have didn't make no money, but like if you actually sit down and watch it and you like the John Wick films, you're gonna enjoy Ballerina, I feel.
Yeah.
But
the scenes with him and her and John Wick are so good.
And they treated his character perfectly.
Yeah, man. He was a badass in that movie.
Or anything, but
yeah, and it wasn't like a glorified cameo. He actually was a little bit more. He was more involved in the storyline than I initially thought he would be. It was a
meaningful role.
Yeah.
But like they're about to come out with the 5th one. So we'll see if they join like that Scream list where it's like, man, you're knocking it on all cylinders, but you know, everybody has their bad day at the office, but Toy Story hasn't had it. John Wick hasn't had it. So
dude, I'm gonna throw this in there, man. I have the Avengers franchise as a tier 1. Avengers 1, iconic.
Yeah.
Age of Ultron is the weakest, but I still like the movie.
I feel people like that more and more they go back to it.
It's the weakest, but it is not a bad movie. It's I really like James Spader as doing the voice. I just wish it was a little bit darker.
Yeah.
But still dig that movie. And I mean 3 and 4. I mean, fuck.
Classics. Classic. Like,
certified classic.
Classic sci-fi, or not sci-fi, but like fantasy kind of.
I mean, those movies embodied like the culmination of years of world building, and it was a cultural moment.
Yeah.
Like it was just I remember what it felt like leaving Infinity War. Like, yo, how the fuck did they leave this off like this?
I know.
What the hell are they doing? Like what? We're like jaws were dropped, just like in awe of like, what the fuck?
Dude, I feel like I agree with you with the Avengers franchise, and I feel like maybe Toy Story 5 is is like the Avengers Age of Ultron for them. Because it's like
not a bad movie.
It's not. It might be like one of my least favorites of it, but it's not a bad movie.
Nope.
And every time I will probably go back to this movie, I'll probably like it more and more. Especially like I said, some of the like the comedy and the standout characters they introduce.
I could definitely see that.
It falls a little short from like because they do it so well. They're I forget I can't think of like the exact
victims of their own success.
Yeah, exactly. They're a victim of their own success.
Yeah.
So it's like that's what happens when you like the first movie gets 100, then your second gets a 98. Then your first 2 get 100, then your third gets a 98, and then your fourth gets like a 98 or some crazy shit. It's like, bro, you can only go down, so to speak. So it's like
and they haven't really. I mean, to be honest,
you took like it's like a slight dip, but it's like it ain't none.
If let me say, I'll say this, and we can wrap up. If they're losing, who's winning?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is winning?
Exactly. I like that. To me, like I'm not sure if they're going to join the illustrious like $1 billion club, but it wouldn't surprise me if it did. But it's going to be a huge success at the theaters. Like my theater was like damn near packed. Unfortunately, there were some kids in there. But we don't gotta get into that. We can wrap it up.
Oh, for sure, man. Well, that is our episode for this week. Stay tuned. We'll catch y'all next week.
Peace.